Okay, now we're going to create some design elements. People are always asking us, where do you get those scrolls or those flowers or whatever it is that we're using in our cards or in our graphic design. And basically, I tell them you can get them from wherever. If you see something and you like it, take a picture of it. This, for instance, is a leather background from an elevator that we were in on one of our trips. And I'm always telling Vicky, take a picture of that. And so in this case, she did, and we can use it now for background or extract different elements out of it and use it for whatever we want. In this case, I'm going to try to get this flower right here. So I have my magic wand tool selected, and I'll just start grabbing the flower and making a selection of the flower. So I'll hold down the shift key and add to that selection whatever I want of this flower. And now once that's selected, let's see if we can get that little piece. There we go. Now that once that's selected, then I can create a new layer in my layers palette, fill it with black by just holding down Option Delete or Alt Delete if you're using a PC. I'll deselect it by hitting Command or Control D, and now if I get rid of that background, you'll see I have that flower on its own layer all by itself. So at this point, if I want to, I can go ahead and crop this, okay, and then get rid of the background layer, and then do a File, Save As, and I can save that flower as its own element somewhere else, as its own file. Now, what I can do with that flower is, let's open up this image, and I'll go ahead and go into the canvas size and click Relative and give myself maybe a 2-inch border all the way around. That's actually a lot bigger than I needed, but you'll get the point. What I can do now is grab this flower, drag it on here, and hit a Command or Control T and make my flower smaller. Make my flower smaller, and I can use it as different design elements around the edge of this picture. So let me go ahead and crop that right now smaller. It doesn't need to be that big. But if I wanted to make it like a border, I can create the flower there and maybe copy it and then go to Edit and Transform or Free Transform and hit Flip Horizontal and move it over there. Okay, then maybe do the same thing, copy it again, and I'm just using Command or Control J to copy it and go to Edit and go to Transform and hit Flip Vertical. Now I have another one that I can put on the bottom. This is just an example of what you can do with your design elements. I copied it again, go and hit Flip Transform, or Transform and hit Flip Horizontal. So now I have one all the way around, and then if I want, I can go to my the layer itself and maybe put a stroke around that image and just make a border around this image, or do whatever I want with these design elements. But the point is, I extracted it just from a picture of a background. So if you see something like on the street, maybe you'll see a pattern in the asphalt that you really like, you can just snap a picture of it, and then you have access to any of the elements in that image that you can just grab selections from, put them on its own layer, fill it with black, and there's your elements. You can do whatever you want with.